So long, man. Have a good rest.
Fuck you! Hey! Help me! Taking maybe one step more. I'll let it off to my new friend.
Every Thursday night, you ask the questions, DT gives you his answers. No holds barred.
It's Q&A with Don Tony. This is your chance to speak your mind and be heard about anything.
Q&A with Don Tony. And now, your host, Don Tony. Don Tony. Don Tony. Don Tony.
All right. Tears of my enemies. Good night for coffee. Whiners make excuses. Winners make coffee. I don't call myself a winner. I call myself very appreciative, humbled, and just honored to be here with all of you tonight. Q&A live stream with yours truly. It is Thursday night, 11/11. Yo, TNA had their 10-10-10 moment. I wish we would have done this 11-11-11. Yeah, I think back at all the missed opportunities that I have passed up. Some my own decision, some kind of beyond my control. But we are here. It's 2021, soon to be 2022. You remember New Year's Eve when my fiance came in here? Love you, bitch. It's amazing that that's already 11 months ago, almost 11 months ago. But I tell you, the weird thing about it, and this is no way, shape, or form to rub it in to the haters, but maybe a little, maybe inspiration for others out there. I am far from perfect. I will never be anywhere near the professionalism, the stature of a lot of others out there. And trust me, I've had some very dark days. The weird thing about it is about a little over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, there was a turning point for me, and I've talked about it. And it was that night that at that Lucky 13, that was only about a month after I had my diverticulitis surgery. And there is a wrestling fan, a podcaster out there. I think a lot of you know who she is, Jessie Davin, who's in the hospital. Never knew anything about her. Never knew about her backdrop battle and anorexia. I have a family member who is dealing with bouts of anorexia. She just feels in the world of social media. I know a lot of women don't do the duck face anymore, but there's a lot of pressure to look perfect. That's why you see 50-year-old women out there using these apps to make their skin look perfect, to remove all the wrinkles, to just try to make themselves look the sexiest as they can be. And on the surface, you might laugh at them, but deep down inside, that is someone that is probably very, very hurt and depressed that you're getting older. Case in point, I went to my P.O. box today, and there was 3 gifts inside the P.O. box and an IRS letter, but it was not that bad. I had 3 gifts in the mailbox today. By the way, shout out to everybody who's live right now. We got an announcement to make in a couple of moments. Just wait a moment. I'm going to reveal the network that I signed with. And this Saturday should be the first show on that network. By the way, I want to thank Chris L. Everybody else emailed me because they didn't want to embarrass me online. I made a big mistake yesterday on the shows. I was giving you some preemptions, and I said that the week of Thanksgiving, I'm going to go away for a couple of days to rest, recharge, celebrate, a little advancement with the shows, celebrate the 2-year anniversary that I got engaged. And I said there will not be a Survivor Series recap until Sunday. Chris L was the first one, and he said, Michael Beck, welcome. Wow, my hand, I am white like a ghost compared to Riddle. Welcome to the family, my friend. Oh, by the way, Michael Beck is a little bit late, but better late than never. Not only we have an announcement to make today, but this happened today. It was only 3 weeks ago that we hit 21,000. I thank you all for keep spreading the word. Trust me, I see it. I see you posting on Facebook. I see you posting on Twitter. I see you posting on Instagram, letting others know about the shows. I get emails. I get DMs. I can't thank you enough. So now let's go to 23,000. I tell you, and to our veterans, thank you for your service. To all of you out there who had family members that are no longer on this earth, who were veterans and fought for our country and fought for the freedom for me to be an asshole. I mean, and to do what we love to do. Thank you for their service as well. So for everyone out there, somebody called me a veteran today. Thank you for your service. Now, some meant the podcasting, but some said it because I was in the Navy. I don't count that. I pussied out. I left during boot camp. Honorable discharge, but I left during boot camp. I didn't go far enough I'm not a veteran. I might be in age, but I'm not. No. The only benefits that I still have from being in the Navy, and I've said it before, I'm not embarrassed to say it, I still have a life insurance policy through the Navy because at that time you could buy life insurance and it's guaranteed renewable till you die. I mean, you see these commercials on TV and it's always like, and I'm not saying this to be like racial or anything like that, but you ever watch the TV? There's always like a white woman, a black woman, an Asian woman, and like there's 5 different nationalities and they're sitting at the table and they're playing cards and they're drinking coffee and they're like, oh, did you hear what happened to Bertha? Yeah, that was so sad. Her husband died and she didn't have life insurance. Well, she should have checked out Colonial Penn. Colonial Penn, I only have to pay $1 a day. That's half of a Roger Rubio cup of coffee. And I have life insurance. Problem is, after 10 years, if you're still alive, yes, I'd like to renew my policy, please. No. But Darren obviously jokes around, but he called me racist. Which nationality would have put me in the category of being racist? White, black, Asian, Spanish? Which one? If you immediately associate it because I mentioned a black person because you're black, tables might be turned right now. Why do you always immediately go to black? I'm just fucking with you. Just fucking with you. I know you're just kidding around. I got your sense of humor. But with the Navy, when you buy the life insurance, it's guaranteed renewable. So that was something. Now, it's not like, oh, well, you don't qualify anymore. You buy it, it's yours. I have paid that life insurance policy. My God, for what, 30 years? I mean, they got enough money from me. But, at least when it's time to go, at least I know whoever is still surviving will be able to pay for my funeral. No GoFundMe for my funeral. No GoFundMe. And listen, I don't want to start any controversy with GoFundMes. But in the last 7 days, I have gotten emails for 6 GoFundMes. And look, obviously, I do what I can for people I care about. I do what I can for people that really need help. I mean, it's the right thing to do, and if I'm able to do it, I will. But, you know, there's sometimes you really got to take a little step back and ask yourself, you know, is this person have a GoFundMe because they really desperately need the help? Jimmy Rave, absolutely. And I've donated to Jimmy Rave, you know, and I know others that have as well. We just don't, you know, have to publicize it, like, acknowledge me. But there's others that I say to myself, is this just like a quick way out of going into your own stash? And of those 6 GoFundMes, 4 of them, I messaged the people back and I said, does this person have health insurance? You know, none of those 4 people answered my question. You know, in this day and age, when people couldn't get health care, they could get Obamacare. You know, for some reason, why does it always seem like when someone falls ill or someone gets in, not everybody, obviously, but someone gets injured, and not everybody that falls ill or gets injured lives in the United States. Remember that too. But why is it that immediately GoFundMe and no one asked the question, do you have health insurance? You know, okay, I have health insurance with a $10,000 deductible. I can't afford this because I never met my deductible. That makes total sense. That I would jump and help for every single day. But you never ever hear anybody say that, oh, I have health insurance, but my deductible is astronomical and I can't afford it. Luckily, I haven't had to use my insurance this year, but now I have, and I'm hit with a catastrophic deductible and I can't afford it. You never hear anybody do that. It's just, help me. Help me. It's like that episode of Star Trek. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. You can get this shirt, I think, on Pro Wrestling Tees, Austin. By the way, shout out to everybody. Obviously, tonight is going to be totally interactive Q&A. We're going to be launching a new show very soon. I think I showed you the banner last time. I don't know if I have it handy. I might have it handy. Let me see if I have it handy. And shout out to my audio-only family as well. I do have it handy. Here it is. This sit down, I made those fonts. Coming soon. That was just a quick one. That was just quick. I don't think it's going to be that cheap looking. But it's to sit down because that's a mafia term. When the families want to meet about something serious. When Joe Pesci got whacked in Goodfellas, the families got together beforehand, probably months before. They had to sit down. We need to whack him. That's for Billy Bats. So it's going to be the sit down with yours truly. It's going to be nothing but calls. So for all of you out there who always want to be able to call in, haven't had the opportunity, we are going to debut a call-in show. I am not sure yet if it's going to be an afternoon show or a Sunday show. I have a lot of you telling me that you're around in the afternoons. So we'll see. Maybe we rotate. Maybe 1 week Sunday, the other week afternoon, weekday. But it's being worked on. So anyway, so going back to the post office thing. Today I go to the P.O. box and there's 2 cards in the box along with an envelope. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So I go to the counter. I have my little bag. I don't know what's in it. And I go to the counter and I said, yes, I'm supposed to pick these 2 up. And one of the things is a giant box from Adorama. Adorama, not Bananarama, but Adorama. I'm your Venus. So I'm like, I didn't buy nothing from Adorama, but I know it's the P.O. box. I said, okay, somebody sent me something. It wasn't ticking. It didn't smell like chemical fluid. So I said, okay, that's cool. The other thing, I'm looking at it, pretty funny, and the other one's here. I wrote his name on the bottom so I didn't forget. Shout out to Joey B. Joey B sent me, you know, Sting was a depressing motherfucker back in the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars. Look at this. How depressed does he look? He's about to bash the NWO's brains in. Look at him. He's so sad. He's like Droopy Dog. I'm gonna beat up the NWO. What a constipated. He looks like he's gonna cry. Oh, Sting, are you gonna cry? Is that why the black makeup is under your eyes? Because you're crying? You're crying. It works. Look.
NWO's going down.
Ooh. Every WCW toy involves either somebody banging someone or taking a mean ass shit. Dish.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
NWO's going down.
Ooh.
I'll be back.
So it still works. It's a mug. It's got the straw. You know, no attachment to it. But pretty cool. Pretty cool. I can't believe it still works, too. I can't believe it's not butter. 1998, the batteries still work. So thank you for that. Mike, thank you for this. You know, when I started doing this stuff in 1997, you know, if I knew about the illegal Canadian and Indian pharmacies online, I would have bought the Viagra and stuff back then to bang like a champion. We'll be PG for now. Screw it. To fuck like a champion. Now people send me boxes to poop like a champion. He actually sent me a box of tea that if I needed to, I drink one of these teas and I could poop like a champion. It's a real thing. Poop like a champion. I haven't opened it yet. Oh, it smells like peppermint tea. Yeah. Poop like a champion. Poop. Oh. Charly's here. She's here. And we're going to give her away today. I got a couple, but we'll give away one today. Cannot be too generous today. We got 3 giveaways today. I think they're pretty cool. I tried to be a little bit different. Something from yesteryear, something from this year, and the other one, I guess, you know, also, you know, for this year. Yeah, I put her in the back. I'll show you a close-up in a few minutes. I'm very impressed. You know, I don't write things for likes or thank yous online, but, you know, it would have been cool if, but then again, Charlotte can't like the tweet because she's not supposed to like the doll. She's supposed to hate the doll. Should I cut its head off tonight? Seriously. So give away something from the future, right? Yeah, I'll give you free tickets to AEW on the West Coast. Tony, I believe it when I see it. By the way, we will talk about Tony Khan's media scrum today. I have some notes. I worked very hard cutting and pasting these from WrestlingObserver.com. I will give them full credit for giving the recap. I listened to some of it. I have a few things to say. And you know me, I think I am very fair with my assessment and criticism. I am a fan of AEW and I am a fan of Tony Khan. But he has faults, just like Vince has faults, just like everybody has faults. It's not based on how much you love wrestling. The more you love wrestling, the less you can be wrong about something. Or the more you have money, the less you can faults. Believe it or not, people that have more money usually do have more faults because they can buy their way out of bad situations. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? But he's so nice. And that's what they said about, never mind. I am so sorry about that slurp sound. I really just took a slurp. I was sleeping before for like an hour. I had to catch up from yesterday. So we got a box of tea to make me poop. We got Sting. And Johnny Knight sent me this son of a bitch. This is a microphone mount. I don't know if you could see on the front. It goes over the desk. And this thing just came out. So I don't have a Rode mic, but apparently it works with everything. So over the weekend, we're going to connect this bad boy. And this annoying microphone will be gone. Instead, it'll be over me. And then I could yell, I can do things, and the microphone is out of sight. So Johnny Knight, that was very generous of you. That shit is like, I don't know, it's like almost $200 on Amazon. He got it from Adorama, so I don't know if he had maybe store credit. But thank you. And it was pretty awesome, man. So, I know a lot of you here want to know the announcement. We'll get into it in a moment, but first, let's do it right off. Okay. If you did not tune in yesterday, and believe me when I tell you, of all the shows that I do, Wednesday many times is the least interested show that people tune into. All right. It's no joke. I mean, AEW did what? 913,000 viewers. That is, what? Less than half of what Raw does, of what SmackDown does. Not everybody is into AEW. A lot of people like the soap opera shit. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I always say, never compare AEW to WWE. It's totally different styles. By the way, all of you out there that responded to me that saw it, I got a photo. I don't have it in this computer, but maybe Saturday during the pay-per-view, when we do the recap, I'll show you. I got a 4K picture of Leo Rush walking down to the ring yesterday. And yeah, the sausage was in the house. It was like 2 pounds of bologna stuck in a 1 pound bag. So anyway, so check it out. Forget what I said yesterday. Survivor Series recap will be on normal schedule. It is next weekend, which means I'll be here. So we will do it the night of the pay-per-view, obviously. Now, Saturday, right after AEW Full Gear, I'll be here doing a recap. I was originally going to do the Don Tony show tomorrow. The problem is, it's not a problem, but the network that I'm going to be on, they need at least 24 hours to migrate my shows over. They also said to me, what about your older shows? And I said, I have older shows that go back to as early as 2001. I said, but, back then the audio quality is horrendous. I said, but I told them about the DTKC show. And I said, originally I took them offline. I was going to put them behind a paywall, not to be a jerk about it, but, I think people understand now that the more those episodes kept around the net, the more people keep saying, when is your host going to be on? We want DTKC again. And look, I said before, I don't mind doing a reunion show once in a blue moon. But the thing is that that's the past. It's history. It's over. It's done with. I want to focus about the present, the future, and getting as big as we possibly can. Not pass up any opportunities at all. Wanting to grow and progress. I'm not content doing a show for 50 people. There's a lot of people out there that do. And that's cool. That's cool. But I want, and not only that, going on video, that was the cop out by a lot of people. Oh, the split was because DT wanted to go to video, which was a lie. Because we did the shows the way it was set up for 8 months before everything went down. But there's no bad blood anymore. I think some people get angry when I keep posting that link because there's a lot of people that still don't know the reason why the shows ended. But the longer I kept those old shows online, the more people kept saying, when you get it. So that's another reason why they were offline. But that network said, hey, if you want to put some of the retro shows back up, we'd love to do it. Get some ad revenue out of it, get a little more exposure, so that is a possibility. On Patreon, there is like 2 or 3 years worth of DTKC shows still up there. But that is something that I'm looking at. Jeff R., how do you enter the giveaways? Well, if you want to still, and I don't think anybody will mind, Jeff, if you want to be part of the giveaway that we're doing tonight for the Sasha Banks photo, what you got to do is on last Thursday's episode, post a comment, and after your comment, put #boss. And then later on, actually within a couple of minutes, I'm going to put up a program and it's going to randomly select a comment from last week's show that had the hashtag boss in it, and someone's going to win this photo. Beautiful photo, by the way. Absolutely beautiful. If you want to be part of the Scarlett photo from last week, you just got to go to, did we do hashtag smoke show or hashtag Scarlett? I think we did hashtag smoke show. So you go on there and write that as well, and you could be on that one. The prizes for today, I'll give you the details in a moment. But I would like to give a shout out to Bob the Builder. Thank you very much for your $5 super chat. Five alive. If I were in charge of WWE Creative, what are some things I would change? Wow, that is a loaded question. That is loaded. I would. Boy, what would see? There's a ton of things we could do, obviously, but if you want me to give you some ideas in no particular order, get rid of the fucking 24/7 title. Get rid of it. There's a lot of ways to be funny on shows without, making pro wrestling look like goofs. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's little moments at times where that 24/7 title is funny, but you look at the hardcore title. I mean, to this day, my favorite moments is Crash Holly going down the kid slide and they're battling in the little plastic balls, or Al Snow and I think Hardcore Holly and others, they're battling in the snow. They're battling in the pond. They just, my favorite, and in case anybody that doesn't know this, I know I've said it many times over the years, but my favorite moment of all time with the hardcore title is when Crash Holly hired the APA to basically protect him so he could sleep a little bit, because everybody was trying to get the hardcore title from him because it's 24/7, 365. So he's sleeping in the back, and the APA end up leaving for some reason. And Gerald Briscoe, shh, be very, very quiet. He goes up to Crash Holly, puts his finger on Crash Holly, and the announcers, Gerald Briscoe has just won the WWF Hardcore Championship. It was the funniest moment, man. When they came out with the DVD about the Hardcore Championship, I bought that DVD simply because of the moments I just said. Why can't they do shit like that again? It's very lazy creative. If you want me to give you the number one thing I would change, seriously, and I mean this, and it's general, but you only contributed $5 Canadian, so I'm kidding. I'm joking. We like to joke on the show. If I could change, the first thing I would change is this. And this is going to sound like a general answer, but I promise you, I think every single person that tunes into this, that hears this say, spot on. And I'm going to compare it to my shows. Okay? I'm not making this about me. I swear to God, I'm not. But this is the best way I could describe it. I've been doing this since 1997. It's maybe only been 4 or 5 times since 1997 that after I did a hotline report, an old webcast, a video podcast, only about 5 times in 24 and almost 25 years did I, after the show, say, wow, that was a fucking awesome show. Wow, that was an awesome show. Man, that was a good one. Very, very rare that it ever happens. I'm never satisfied. I'm never content. When I do a show now, I don't ever want to be just sitting here and having nothing to talk about. I don't want to be lazy. There's a lot of people out there that do shows, and you could tell that there's no preparation at all. It's just sitting back. Wow, yeah, Remember Hell in a Cell? Oh, you remember when Mick Foley had the tooth sticking out of his nose? Wow. And then remember Undertaker? And I remember Tony Atlas when he first came in, Mr. USA, and do you remember Mr. Fuji? Oh, Fuji Vice. And that is the laziest shit because there is no preparation, no work involved. It's just hit record. Do you remember? 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 Remember? And that's the show. And yes, we all like to reminisce, but that's just lazy stuff. But hey, it works for some people, and that's cool. I'm not going to tell people what to do. But for me, I always feel that when I do a show, if you spend even 10 minutes tuning into it, I want you to enjoy the 10 minutes. I'm not scripted. Believe me, when we talked about Leo Rush yesterday, I got so many emails of people laughing their ass off about what we talked about. And that was not planned. The only thing I was going to say is, wow, that was, he's hung like a horse, as someone said yesterday. I just looked at him like, damn, kind of jealous. That's all I thought. But the point is that when I come here, hey, do you remember La Resistance? Oh, yeah. You remember when Eric Bischoff did the wedding? Did you say 2 minutes? People, we are dead. Come on, man. That's lazy. I don't ever want to be lazy doing this stuff. So I would treat the TV like the network is threatening to cancel your show if you don't pick up on the ratings, if you don't, or the advertisers are going to pull out if you don't drastically change something. Believe it or not, some people are at their greatest when they're under a lot of pressure. WWE acts like very little pressure. There is definitely pressure. You gotta, you gotta please stockholders. You gotta worry about how the business appears. People like, oh, Nick Khan getting paid $10 million. Yeah, do you realize what's involved? $1 billion company? Yeah. When you could actually get the company, the way it's been, even though it's unpopular, that's very, very, difficult. So WWE, I would treat their TV shows, with the exception of NXT, because NXT is developmental. When NXT sucks, everybody, Triple H, it's a developmental. It's like people are still looking at NXT. Compare it like this, like they're watching a AAA, not even, AAA, the baseball league. You got the major leagues and then AAA, AA, single A. And single A, you ride on buses from like 1975. There's no money at all. Imagine someone watching a single A baseball game and then writing online, this Falcon team sucks. The fucking Yankee office should be fired. What the fuck am I looking at? That person couldn't even pick up the ball. Meanwhile, it's fucking 16-year-old Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter, number 2. You look at NXT like a developmental. That's why, like we said yesterday, they took the takeover name out of it. Not the fuck Triple H. No, because it's developmental. And they don't want people to have that perception that NXT is the NXT of recent memory. That's it. I know it's boring, and I know it's not exciting. So NXT, you put that aside. But for Raw and SmackDown, there has to be, and not AEW is the reason. They have to work like it could be their last episode. Or you got to treat it like a pay-per-view. When I do my shows, I do it with the idea that every single person tuning in, I don't want them to turn it off. They have to for other reasons, fine. But I don't ever want someone to turn her off and say, she'll suck. Of course, I rub some people the wrong way, so I understand why some people would not tune in. But I go in putting in 100% effort, period. And People think that I'm just joking on haters when I always say hard work pays off. It does, because people do listen, people do watch, and people could tell who is really working hard at what they do and tries to really go out and please the person tuning in. And then there's others that do it so they can feel relevant, to feel like they matter. And look, if that's the reason why they do it, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's what WWE should do, in my honest opinion. Florida Championship Wrestling was great. Let me ask you all this. When Cena, Batista, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar were coming up in OVW, how many matches did you see while it was going on? Almost none. Maybe you got lucky and got a bootleg tape at a wrestling event. By the way, when Eddie Kingston wrote that article and he talked about, looking, getting tapes from like All Japan and stuff, and he would have to buy it from a bootleg, that's Mad Zombie. That's Mad Zombie. Mad Zombie was my co-host. Mad Zombie would show up at all the wrestling shows with a big bag of bootleg wrestling tapes, and people would buy them in droves until he got in trouble selling Beulah McGillicuddy's Penthouse video, the Silver Bullet. If he didn't do that, Mad Zombie would have made a lot more money at ECW events. So, that was an interesting story. But, yeah, when Eddie Kingston was talking about that, it's my co-host, Mad Zombie, Zombie Video, and I'm going to put some of the old hotline reports on here in the next 2 weeks. So you'll actually hear me, Brian Damage, Mad Zombie, little Timmy Arson, God rest his soul. And you'll see what we were doing 20 years ago on the hotlines. So, but seriously, go back to OVW. How many matches did you see of those guys at that time? Probably none. Yes, it was difficult to get them, but even if you could, nobody really paid attention. NXT, as sad as it may seem, NXT may need to go off the USA Network. It might be the best for them, because people online still insist to try to treat NXT, bigger than what it is. People are going to screw up. Some of the characters are going to suck. Some of it is throwing shit on the wall and hope that it sticks. That's what happens when you're in the rookie league, in the minor leagues. And there's no question that NXT is now minor leagues. So, but good question. Very good question. I thank you for that. Now, I missed Big Armada a few moments ago. Can I explain how ratings and demos work? He hears people talking about it, but he fully doesn't understand it. Okay. I'll answer this, and thank you for the $5, my friend. I'll answer it like this, okay? And I have brought a different perspective about demos the last 2 weeks, which it's interesting that people haven't copied it and tried to throw it in some of these wrestling reporters' faces when they keep bringing up demos. There's no question that advertisers are targeting certain groups. Remember what I said earlier? Oh, did you hear what happened to Bertha's husband? Oh, he died tragically. She didn't have life insurance. But thanks to Colonial Penn, if my husband dies tomorrow, I can pay for the wedding. And I might even have bingo money afterwards. I don't think they're trying to target the 18 to 34 demographic. I don't think they're trying to target the 12 to 34 demographic. I don't even know if they're trying to target the 50-year-old demographic. But Nielsen has the ratings, and that is just a sample size of the entire country. So let me make this clear. Yes, you could track things through streaming media. Yes, you could track things through YouTube. Believe it or not, as ridiculous as YouTube views may seem to a lot of people, it does give a good idea for wrestling companies to see what is more popular than others. I mean, come on. Didn't Lana, and I love Lana. I mean, everybody knows that already. But didn't Lana or even Nia Jax, Didn't they have some YouTube clips from WWE that were like, had millions and millions and millions of people like, why does that have so many views? Well, believe it or not, you know, that just gives you an idea of what people want to casually tune into. It's a snapshot. But when you hear that AEW had 913, was it 913? Yeah. When they had 913,000 viewers for Dynamite yesterday, they had more than 913. 913 is what was registered with Nielsen. Nielsen is just a snapshot of what is being aired. But that snapshot is based on other shows, and it's based on the week before, and it's based on a month before, a year before. And you cannot compare it to 5 or 10 years ago because there's a lot of other ways to watch a show now these days. And then there's a lot of times it repeats. So anyway, just to summarize this, when you have a rating, it's divided up into different demographics. When someone gets a Nielsen box and their household has someone between the ages of 18 to 34, check. When the person in the household is a lonely podcaster above the age of 50 with no one else living in the house except for Lint, then they check off the 50 and over demographic. So that's how they compute it. So now what happens is that snapshot is divided into different categories, and they see which demographic is attracted to the product the most. Then it gets divided into quarters, and they can see, wow, this demographic, this show was really, really, women were really turned off by it, or the men 12 and all. So that's how they do it. But again, the demos should only be the concern of the wrestling companies, of the networks, and of the advertisers. Not us. Not us. The only reason why people out there that are not in those three categories do that, unless they work for a living, analyzing this stuff. I always shout out Brandon Thurston. He does this for a living, so he should be looking at this stuff. But others out there that look at that, they just want to find any way to twist something around and perceive it to be what it's not. Oh, AEW beat WWE in the demo, 0.41 to 0.40. But the WWE show had 700,000 more viewers. It doesn't matter. In 0.41 was, they beat them by 1/10. So that's like, I gained 2 pounds. But you know what? I drank a 2-liter bottle of club soda a few minutes ago. So I actually lost a pound. I mean, people try to twist it to make it feel the way it is. But all I know is, like Impact Wrestling, if only 100,000 people tune in, you're not going to get 200,000 pay-per-view buys. So don't give me, the demo went up 50%. Ooh, so 7,000 people watched it instead of 6,000. It still sucks. It's horrendous. Impact Wrestling, they did, what did they do? I have the ratings right here. They did 114,000. That's up 14% from the week before. What was the week before? 100,000. When Tessa Blanchard was champion, it was 180,000. They lost almost half their viewers. How do you like the Forbidden Door now, Impact? So the demos, and believe me, everyone, the demos were around during the Monday Night Wars. The demos were around during TNA versus WWE. Do you remember when TNA, they did, why do you think? Do you remember the Aces and Eights? I used to call them the Aces and 0.8s. We actually made a shirt until I was threatened legal action by TNA. Aces and 0. I still have the graphic. I could throw it on a shirt right now. I don't know if anybody would buy it, but Aces and 0.8s, because the Aces and Eights was their biggest storyline and the rating was a 0.8. How come nobody says 0.8 anymore? How come nobody says 3.1, 0.5, 1.6? But you look at the whole Monday Night Wars. Who do you think? Nielsen had a makeover? They had a sex change? There's nothing different about it. Obviously, they analyze it closer now. But the point is, back then, and it wasn't that long ago, 0.8. That's why I called them Aces and Aces and 0.8s, because that was their rating. The rate, just so you know, Impact Wrestling, TNA, is the reason why you have the ratings the way they are now. And if you think that I'm wrong, I mean, Meltzer would never admit this, but this is how it started with wrestling news sites. Impact Wrestling, and if I want to go one step further, AAA or CMLL it might have been. They were on Telemundo, and obviously Telemundo not everybody has, but their rating was so low at times that it was technically zero, like Animal House, 0.00. So what happened with Impact Wrestling, and if you think I'm wrong, go back into history and you'll see it clear as day. Impact Wrestling, their ratings started to drop like flies. I mean, it just started to drop drastically. And it went from 1.1, 0.8, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3. It started to get so low that the people out there that tried to boost up TNA and make them look better, instead of saying 0.3, they would say 710,000 viewers, 850,000 viewers. And trust me, I have my podcast from that time when I said, why are people now doing this? Because it's embarrassing to say Impact Wrestling did a 0.2 in the ratings. So no. Instead of saying 0.2, we'll now say 810. And that's what started happening. And then people that didn't like Impact Wrestling will say, oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. Oh, Impact did 710. Well, Raw did 2.9 million. And that's where that started. That is the truth. That is the truth. So the demos are very, very important, no question. But that's why I now have taken this different approach that no one else has taken. WWE is PG rated. AEW is TV 14. So obviously, when Tony Khan's about Cody, oh, well, the kids and the women are tremendously in favor of Cody. How many fucking kids do you think are really there in the whole building? Seriously. They have a tiny, tiny kid audience. It is tiny. And almost every kid that shows up there puts on a denim jacket and a pair of shades and they get on TV. They have very, very few kids at those events. AEW programming is not intended for children. Of course, their rating is going to be a little bit lower because it's not family friendly. Common sense. So when they say, oh, AEW won in the 18 to 34 demographic, well, no fucking shit, because WWE programming is also designed for 12-year-olds and 6-year-olds. Well, not 6, but you get the picture. You get the picture. But thank you for that. Hopefully I explained it a little bit and you got to hear a little history about why they moved away from the point ratings. They still do that with the demos. Do you notice that? Oh, God. Think about this. They're doing the reverse with the demos. When you look at, Impact Wrestling did 0.3 in the 18 to 34 demo. If you look at what 0.3 is, oh my God, it's up from 0.2 last week. They've gone up 50%. When you actually look at the 0.3, it's 7,000 viewers. So when it comes to demos, they do the opposite of what they were doing in Impact Wrestling. How come they don't tell you how many people of that 913 of AEW's rating, how many of that 913 were 18 to 34? They don't say 260,000. No, they say 0.41. Why? Because 0.41 to them sounds bigger than 267. You see how the sausage is made, everyone. It's the trick. It's little tricks. It's perception. It's all about perception. Rojo Bear, 24. Would I ever bring back the quarter-hour rating segment? Yeah, I could bring them back. I mean, NXT I really wouldn't want to do. It's not fair. I know that sounds kind of like PC, but it's not fair. It's a developmental system now. When people are more concerned about seeing JC Jane and Gigi Dolan, let's not leave out Mandy Rose, seeing their ass cheeks sticking out, instead of their in-ring action, WWE, it's diversion. It's diversion. Okay, they're not that, polished yet. They're getting there. But my God, that outfit. Look at Elektra Lopez. Elektra Lopez ain't fighting Thunder Rosa anytime soon for a heavyweight championship, but Elektra Lopez, she's developing. So there's a lot of people in NXT. You look at Lu Feng or whatever that person's name is. That person's supposed to wrestle like Chad Gable. No, a lot of these wrestlers are just breaking in. And NXT is not touring. Believe it or not, friends, there's a lot of people that still don't realize that NXT used to have little house shows that was never televised. Omos. How many Omos matches did you see on NXT TV from yesteryear? Omos was working NXT little building events in front of 100 people. Nobody ever focused on that stuff. They're not doing that right now. So when Omos was greener than the backdrop of this, imagine if he would have been on TV. The fuck is this 8-foot lurch? He sucks. Get rid of him. I'd rather see. So they're not doing that right now. So you have people on TV that are not ready. They're not ready. But you have these goofs online that still dissect that. So I would not do it. Rams fan, thank you for the 2 spot. I am doing the announcement in a couple of moments, I promise. The announcement. I have it ready. I got permission to mention it. In 24 to 48 hours, it'll be live online. I promise you're going to laugh. I mean, I know you're going to laugh so much that I actually made this. I know you really can't see it right now, but I actually put a little chat box ready because when I post the screenshot, the announcement, I want to put the chat box to see everybody's reaction, to see who I'm in company with. It'll be worth it. Be ready. Be ready to pee your pants. Some people, I guarantee you, some people are going to be like, that's the announcement? Trust me, I'm not signing with WWE. It's nothing like that. But it's something, trust me. You know me, I don't hype stuff and clickbait. I don't clickbait. Oh, by the way.
That was bullshit.
Bullshit alert. One of the wrestlers who was released sent me a DM yesterday. And I was told that I could mention it publicly, but the person asked that I do not mention their name right now. They're going to be doing an interview soon with someone, not me, obviously, and they're going to bring it up again. But the person wanted to let me know, because we talked about it last week, that vaccination was not a reason for their release. I know Nia Jax made a statement online, but someone else who people have claimed that was released because of vaccination status DM'd me directly and said, hey, Anthony, keep up the good work. I check out your podcast once in a while. And with regard to your vaccination coverage, I wanted to just let you know. I don't have it right in front of me, but I just wanted to let you know that my vaccination status was not the reason why they were let go. In fact, the person is vaccinated. I don't care if Tom's Dick in Wrestling, the New York Times, PW Spyware, I don't give a shit who reports it. If the persons themselves don't tell you, I don't take it as gospel. What people will do is, instead of being respectful and saying, look, we don't know if that's the reason. And vaccination is such a controversial issue right now. I'm not going to jump the gun and say that these people were released because they were not vaccinated. It's the Saudi Arabia story all over again. And if I offend anybody out there who did this, I'm sorry. I'm expressing my opinion. You think they learned from Saudi Arabia. You think they learned from Keith Lee and his health issues back in the day. Take note of all the news outlets out there. By the way, Rojo Bear. So Rojo Bear, I'll definitely look into doing the quarter-hour ratings again. I'll probably do it for AEW more than anything else. So, yeah, I will. I want to make this point, and I think it's very important. Seriously, I'm not trying to overhype it. Vaccination status. Any of you who live in my neck of the woods, you saw a story maybe like 2 weeks ago that police officers who were suspended without pay because they were not vaccinated, that they all protested. And the person who shot like 5 seconds of footage zoomed in on a couple of people. There was a total of 30 at the whole protest. There was almost none. Truth is, 86 or 88% of our police force here is vaccinated. I think for one group, there was 10 people that got suspended. They make you think it's thousands that were suspended. Oh, what's going to happen to the police force? So anyway, you see people who work for a department store. I was fired because I'm not vaccinated. One person gets let go, and a news outlet will cover the story. Am I wrong, everyone? One person gets let go from a bodega. I lost my job. I'm not vaccinated. Or, hey, I lost my job slicing cocas because I didn't get vaccinated, these fucking cocksuckers. All right? So I'm not like singling out any nationality. A news story picks up on it because it's clickbait. It's an attention getter. How come no news outlets out there have specific people who are released from WWE writing the story? No, they write words with LY at the end. Allegedly, reportedly, possibly, likely. How come for Joe Schmuck that gets fired working in a produce stand because he's not vaccinated, it's a big story, but yet none of these outlets are interested in finding out who at WWE was released because of their vaccination status? Nobody. None. Just like the Saudi Arabia story. Nobody. CNN, can we pay you to cover this story? Please? Pretty please. I'll touch it. So what do people do now? Because some Nimrod still writes, possibly, well, guess what? Oh, now I could cover it because somebody mentioned, reportedly, possibly. People use that shit just to have a discussion about something that's likely not true. But they still do it anyway. So I'm telling you, one of the persons released is vaccinated, and people have reported that the person was not vaccinated. I won't say who it is. And I will tell you this, so nobody starts getting pressure. I did not talk to Karrion Kross yet. So let me make that clear, because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, he talked to Kross. No, I respect his privacy right now and him focusing on, you know, being the Karrion Killer Kross, excuse me. Fuck Karrion. Killer Kross. Be the killer that he always was. So, all right. Let's do the contest. Let's do last week's. And then we'll announce this week's, because this week there are 3, I think, pretty damn good contests. Let's do last week's contest first. Then maybe we'll do the announcement. Then we'll do the new contest. And then maybe if you want to take some calls, we'll take some calls. If you don't want to do calls tonight And by the way, the show is definitely going to end a little bit earlier today because the network wanted me to be done by midnight. Because, trust me, they're not sitting in a computer. What's that GIF with the cat, like the impatient cat? They're not there like, is he done yet? No, it's all computerized. It's programmed. So, Courtney Summers, good news, DT. There is an assistant program for her meds. So she's back on Patreon. Courtney, man, I always say this, and I don't want to say it publicly because I'll get 95 requests, which is almost our entire Patreon family, let's be honest. You know, I don't want anybody out there to have to choose, you know, Patreon or other expenses. You know, I'm not, you know, like cheap like that. It's my fucking page, and I run the whole ship, and I have had to absorb some costs out of my own pocket. All the giveaways in the contest are out of my pocket. I don't ask anybody, and I don't ask anybody. I don't think they should. But any of you out there that's on Patreon and, you know, want to stick around but have a little bit of a financial issue, let me know, and I'll just refund, you know, your Patreon fundage for a month or two. You know, I can't keep doing it every month because I think after a while Patreon will just close the person's account. But oh, she also had another question. I think it was cut off on there, but it will not be cut off when I do this. Hang on, here we go. Wardlow versus Cross, who wins? Right now, Cross. Not even close. I tell you, I'm a little surprised. Wardlow has been in AEW now for a while. And we're now only getting him squashing someone like a grape. I mean, Wardlow was look, seriously. I mean, obviously we're a little biased towards Cross, but Wardlow was fucking good before he even joined AEW. If anybody goes back to when Wardlow first was on TV, go check out the episode that I did here. And I gave a little background on Wardlow. He actually is pretty damn good. And it took them this long to like really start showcasing. I mean, I think it's only happening now because of the storyline advancement between him and MJF. So Wardlow is pretty freaking good. He's pretty damn good. But right now I still go with Cross. WWE was more concerned about the aesthetics of Karrion Kross than the in-ring wrestling. And I'll tell you something else. I'm shocked. I am shocked that these clickbait news sites haven't done this yet. I'm going to tell it to you here. And be ready, everyone. And remember, when it does start getting reported, make sure you tweet me. You're like, DT, you were right. You're going to start seeing news sites once they pick up on it. We've already picked up on it. Some of you have as well. News sites are going to start reporting that WWE is trying to get away from the MMA type offense that a lot of wrestlers have. That they want to focus on actual moves instead of kicks and punches and MMA type style brawling. Karrion Kross had a little bit of an MMA look with some of his shots. I mean, yesterday, you saw how awful that could get. We talked about it. When America's Top Team were beating up the Inner Circle, look at the schmuck that was beating up Jericho. I mean, if you're going to brawl with someone, act like you're in a fucking club and somebody just grabbed your significant other's ass. And if you can't simulate it, then you shouldn't be doing it. Period. If I'm on a movie set and I'm supposed to be in a fight scene, and instead of me, instead I'm like, cut, get this guy off the set. Who the fuck, even in the MMA world, who the fuck, when you start attacking someone like a street fight, that you go to the head and go, what, you have an allergic reaction to meds? It was awful. Remember what I just said. Somebody timestamp it on the comment section so I could remember too. Because it's hard to do synopses like this and timestamp this. But you're going to see websites soon enough. And that actually does hurt a little bit, but it looks awful. I'm going to get into a fight on the street, a road rage incident. I'm going to grab somebody by the neck, and instead of just going, or just, you son of a, no, I'm going to be like, Dark Order looked better than yesterday. Remember what I said. The news is going to start saying that WWE is moving away from the MMA type of offense. Remember that. I promise you, in the next month or two, that will be a big story. And then people will be like, oh, they're even taking away people's offense. You watch. That's how the sausage is made. Remember when I broke a couple of news things a month ago? I don't remember what the topics were, but I posted a couple of things online. And I said, that's how the sausage is made. Did you notice how nobody reported it? Not one person after I posted it. There were a lot of clickbait sites like, that son of a bitch. Anybody remember what it was? I posted a couple of things, like shooting things down about rumors. And I said, everyone, this is how the sausage is made. And none of those websites ran and reported it. It was hilarious. Hilarious. When the ratings are good and everybody seems to be having a good time and you see people's social media and they're having fun, then they'll write, from my direct sources, the vibe in the locker room is more upbeat than what it was a month ago. I can't remember what it was, but it was funny. It was about a month and a half ago. So for my audio friends, if there's a little pause, I take a little slug of something to drink because I do have a little bit of dry throat. All right, let's do this contest. So we're going to give away right now the autographed Scarlett photo. Beautiful photo, by the way. And we're also going to be giving away the autographed Sasha Banks photo. Now, one prize per person. So we haven't had it yet where same person's name was pulled twice. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up last week's show live, and then I'm going to run it through a program, and then we're going to put in the magic word, which was the hashtag that you had to put in your comment last week, and whoever is picked is the winner of the prizes. If anyone out there wins and decides they don't want their prize, just reach out to me and let me know, and we will definitely do another contest in the near future. I did mail out those Mandy Rose photos today, by the way, so they should reach WWE probably Tuesday. There was no mail today, so it's not going to go out from New York until tomorrow. So, I expect I probably won't get it next week or two, but we'll get it soon. Shout out to Harris B. Happy anniversary, my friend. 8 months a channel member. Wow, it's flying by, man. Thank you. Seriously. Do I think AEW is too lenient regarding botches? Believe it or not, when those anniversary posts come up, there's no way for me to put it on the screen, but everybody in the chat room can see it. Do I think AEW is too lenient regarding botches? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you notice, Jericho doesn't complain on his podcast anymore. Shut up. I mean, there's a lot of some young guys, obviously, they're developing right before our eyes. And yes, there's going to be some slip-ups here and there. Hey, slip-ups happen in WWE as well. But, it's some of it is totally unnecessary. I mean, I don't want to single out anybody in AEW, but it's totally unnecessary. I mean, I'll bring up one. I mean, the Britt Baker injury in the corner. Statlander, I think her injury also. There was some moves that are just totally unnecessary that you're just asking for trouble. I mean, Ray Phoenix that time. And I always brought it up. Remember when there was like a battle royal or something and he dove it was like the distance between the side of the ring and the guardrail was like this much. I mean, I don't even think you could have put a piece of paper between the two. And he's like, fuck it. And he does his move and he almost breaks his neck. You know, a lot of the botches are totally unnecessary or unavoidable. I mean, are avoidable, excuse me. Look, Statlander, remember when we talked about it? She always like did one move too many. And it's like that Mortal Kombat game when you're totally gassed and you try to do a move and you're just gassed, and that's where she would always like slip up. She's eliminated that. She's totally eliminated that. She deserves a hell of a lot of credit for it. But yeah, there's some of the botches that are totally unnecessary because some of the moves should not be done in the first place. Less is more sometimes. Less is more. All right, so let me pull up last week's show. Give me 1 second. So I don't want to accidentally reveal the announcement. All right, there we go. This is last week's show. And just so you know that we are live right now, and this is not like pre-recorded video, I'm going to type the word botch at the top. Not bitch, but botch. See botch on the top, so at least you know this is live. Rams fan, welcome, my friend. Welcome back. Oh, actually, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Didn't realize. Yeah, it's weird. It says you've become a member. You've been a member for a while. Yeah, we're going to have some fun. All right, so I put the botch up there. So you know this is real. You see my mouse going back and forth. So here's what we do. This is last week's show. I'm going to go to pick a winner. Now, did we do Smoke Show last week? I think in order to win the Scarlett photo, you had to put hashtag Smoke Show. I think it was Smoke Show. Well, I could just write smoke because anything that begins with smoke, even if you write smoke or Smoke Show, it should work. So, oh, you meant news instead of fun? Okay, we are going to have some news tonight. Absolutely. Was it hashtag Scarlett? Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Because I said, I don't think anybody would misspell it. Okay. And, I'm curious. I want to see if anybody screwed up. Let's see what happens if we put hashtag Smoke Show. I mean, if somebody comes up, you don't win, but let's see what happens. Ah, look, you see VJ? Lots of hashtags, but no, VJ, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but we just wanted to see what happened with Smoke Show. So, VJ's won before, so he's not going to bitch. But hey, who knows? He might come up again. All right, so we got hashtag Scarlett. VJ's like right now, that son of a bitch. All right, let's pick a winner. Let's see who won. Congrats to look. And just so you know, it's not finagled. Look. It was meant for him to win. Look at that shit. VJ, congrats, VJ. VJ is good people, man. So, but you know what? He's probably like, I don't want the Scarlett photo. I want the Sasha Banks photo. Well, VJ, you got it. I turned heel and babyface in about 10 seconds. Quicker than the Big Show. So now let's do Sasha. I know it was hashtag boss. Let's do hashtag boss. Pick a winner. The comments must include hashtag boss. Now, if VJ comes up again, there's no conspiracy. No, you can't have both prizes. But all right, congratulations goes to. No. This is definitely not. I'm telling you, this is live. Trust me, he's not under my desk right now. So let's do it again. Hashtag boss. There we go. Oh my God. I think Eddie earned it. Eddie, you earned it. I'm not even reading that because it'll be 1:30 in the morning. But that's a great comment, man. He's basically venting on the WWE firings. But I didn't even know you could type that much on a comment section on YouTube. Eddie Valentino, congrats, my friend. Eddie, you get the Sasha Banks photo. Props to you, buddy. Props to you. So, all right. So now, that is live. I almost accidentally put up the surprise. We're going to do the announcement in a second. All right. So this is what we're going to do. This is the prizes we're giving away today. First off, let me pull it up. I should have had it ready. One of the prizes we're going to give away, because it's been a very popular prize. A lot of you out there have been wanting it, and I know some of you already received it. Thank you for the kind words, and how come I can't find the picture of it? It's the Moxley book, the autobiography. I had like 5 pictures of Moxley's book in this computer. I don't even see one. Where did the Moxley book picture go? It's got to be here. Am I going blind? Well, anyway, here it is. Okay, here it is. All right, so one of the prizes tonight is going to be the Moxley book. That's a little too small. That's better. So if you want to be part of the contest to win the Jon Moxley autobiography, post a comment in the comment section later and just put hashtag MOX, MOX, and next week we'll pick a winner. And whoever gets picked, it's not named VJ, you'll get the Mox book. So Eddie Kingston didn't make a book, Larry. It was just a blog on that website. I wrote online, I hope he writes a book. I would love to read an Eddie Kingston book. So, and I'm only kidding, VJ. If you win next week, good for you. So if you want to be part of the Mox contest, hashtag MOX, MOX, in the comment section. Also tonight, we're going to give away, and this is something that I know a lot of you have asked about in the past. And, for anybody that was a fan of the Attitude Era, I mean, I know Brian Christopher, God rest his soul, when he came back during the Jerry Lawler, Michael Cole feud, it was awful. But still, one of my favorite Royal Rumble moments is when they did that. I mean, the crowd went nuts. I always liked Too Cool, Scotty Too Hotty, Grandmaster Sexay, and Rikishi. So someone tonight is going to win this. I don't know why it's off-centered, but I actually recorded some video. I don't know if I could pull it up really quick. Let me see if I can download it really quick. I shot about 15 seconds of video earlier. Let me see if I can pull it up. Just bear with me literally for 1 second. I'm sorry for my audio friends out there. I can download it. It'll take literally, I got 1 gigabyte internet, so it's literally going to take 6 seconds. It's already downloaded. Yeah, it's done. All right, so let me take it off. Let me pull up the video instead, because I'd rather you see the actual video of it. Here it is. So if you want to be part of this contest tonight, in the comment section, you put hashtag Too Cool. But remember, it's spelled TOO. Don't put the number 2. I know people have written it with the number 2 and then cool, and then they would write TWO and cool. Too Cool, like you would write Too Cool for School. TOOCOOL, all one word. Too Cool, all one word. Not Too Much, because Rikishi was not part of Too Much. But if you want to check out the video, come up with something special. Hold on. Let me, you know me, I always try to make things as perfect as possible. Okay, yeah, this is the prize. Hey, I wanted to come up with something special as a giveaway, since the channel is doing so well, and now with our shows being signed to a new network, this is what we're going to give away. Somebody is going to win this very cool triple signed WWF magazine. It is autographed by Rikishi, Scotty Too Hotty, and sadly the late great Grandmaster Sexay Brian Christopher. And you also get these Grandmaster Sexay autographed goggles. It's got the PSA DNA, and this is a full, I used to own that Jerichoholic shirt. Yeah, it Taz, young, Matt Hardy. Pretty cool. The full magazine. So you get the entire magazine, and on the back, milk mustache. So, all right, everybody. This is just a gift from me to say thank you for all your support, and good luck to everybody who enters the giveaway. Be well. Stay safe. I'm so nice. I want to be like Tony Khan and give me credit. So, yeah, if you want to be part of that contest, just put hashtag Too Cool, all one word, and somebody next week will win the magazine and the goggles. Then we'll also give away tonight, and I decided to do it as a set. We're going to give away the Lilly Doll, but we're also going to give away the Charly doll as well. Yes, somebody is going to win both. Here you go. Let me take the picture down. That is Lilly. Look, Heath Slater. Look, I'm Heath Slater. He's always got to put his head back. There you go. You got Lilly and you got Charly. I tell you, the Charly doll up close, really nice. I like the middle. I mean, that's pretty cool. She's got the women's championship, even though she's on SmackDown. But, yeah, that is the back. If you look at the stitching, it's all across. See, Lilly, it's only on each side because it's pigtails. Her, it's sewn all across. But there you go. Someone's going to win both. Somebody's going to win both. And no, you cannot look up their skirts. There is not. It's cool too. I just looked at this also. Look at this. It's actually like fur. And it goes all the way down here too. She's got a furry bottom. Pretty cool. But yeah, remember Heath Slater? Heath Slater, early in his career on WWE, every time he would get beat up and his hair would be on his face, instead of just like getting beat up, he would always do this. Yeah. So there you go. So somebody is going to win Lilly and Charly as a set. You will get both. Should we do it as a thumbnail? Yeah, that's better. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but put her here. No peeking. Okay. All right. Let's do the announcement. So, first of all, again, I thank you all for this. I can't wait to get to 23,000 subscribers. So, again, I did the DDP smile. I didn't even realize it. No, DDP would always tilt his head. He'd be like, all right, so here's the deal, okay? I've passed up some big opportunities in the past. I had the opportunity to be on FM radio here in New York. But the thing is, at the time, I would have to go to New York City, I think on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night late, and do a live show for an hour. My co-hosts at the time, I mean, let's be honest, it was not going to work out great for them to travel. Hell, I even think Joey 924 was still with us. What was he going to do? I'm not saying to be funny. I mean, it was not as easy as you think. So that obviously didn't happen. I had the opportunity once to really pursue satellite radio, but honestly, It's too unprofessional, the shows, to be on satellite radio. There's a wrestling network about 4 or 5 years ago, was brought up, and I never pursued it. And there were a couple of other opportunities, but the thing is that, just for various reasons, we never did anything about it. I wanted to look, if any crime is committed in my house and somebody shows up for forensic DNA, this is a Charlotte hair. I promise you I did not assault Charlotte. This is a Charly hair, actually. So anyway, long story short, just to say it bluntly, I passed up advertising opportunities. I passed up a couple of opportunities. And about 5 years ago, Dayhawk is asking people, like, just make the goddamn announcement already. How many monitors do I have and what do I recommend? Dayhawk, go on an advanced Twitter search. And I can't take a picture of it here. Go on advanced Twitter search on my account. Just type the word monitor. And you could see the monitor I have. My monitor is a curved monitor. It's literally my entire desk. It's the equivalent of 2 big monitors. And it's really nice. I mean, look, I personally am happy with my monitor, but when you do everything yourself, there's a lot of screens that you need on your computer. And, my site isn't as good as what it used to be. So I literally have my notes here, or I usually have it on my screen. I put the chat room in front of me today. And, oh, cool. Nero Fay, much love. His biopsy went good so far. He'll get his results next week. Good luck, my friend. Good news. Expect good news. Don't get all sick and bent out of shape over it, because if it's good news, which it should be, you're going to be like, man, I got all worried for nothing. Much love, my friend. So anyway, with the monitor, like I have, like news in front of me, screens, the background to make sure that the audio is good. The video is still on the screen. I got a lot of technical stuff. I have YouTube in front of me. Then I have my recording program. I record 2 ways. I use a Rodecaster. The Rodecaster, the podcast one, the mixer. I also have a software program called Hindenburg. Hindenburg is on my screen. Then I got my video program that transmits everything over to you. I have to monitor to make sure everything looks good. Then when I put stuff on the screen with photos, so there's a lot. Super chats, the chat room, there's just a lot. Tazria, Binti Tarek, welcome to the family, my friend. So it really depends on what you need it for. If you're gaming, you probably could do better with a smaller computer. If you don't need to have like a professional camera, you might even be able to do one of these monitors that you could tilt this way. It really to each his own. So I really have no idea what you would be using it for. But if you look at my social media and the pictures I posted, it'll give you a great visual of why I use it, because there's actually pictures of everything in my background. So, to each his own. But me, I love my monitor. Absolutely. Octavio, carry on. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. I'm not going nowhere, my friend. What I was saying before, and thank you for the kind words, my friend, is I needed to go to video. Again, 80 to 85% of everybody who still enjoys what I do access audio only. I don't blame them. It's convenient. It eats up less data. Not everybody can look at video while they're working, they're driving, doing things. So a lot of people just want to hear it in their earbuds. So, yes, the video part of it is more of when I do visual stuff, or if I post a picture, or if I do something really stupid like eat 25-year-old cereal, I get it. But if there's something that really they want to tune in and see the video of, they could listen to the audio show. And then another time, just drop on YouTube for 5 minutes, watch the clip that they just heard, and that's it. So a majority of everybody out there still acts as audio only, and that's awesome. But, you know, the shows got very, I don't want to say complacent or bland, but, you know, two things that I never liked about audio only over the last 10 years. Number one, when you could only hear a person, you paint a certain picture about a person based on their voice, based on their attitude, based on their vulgarity, based on criticizing, based on putting people down. You know, when you see somebody's eyes, you know, when somebody says, I see it in your eyes, you're lying. Or I see it, you know, there's nothing like actually seeing the person that you tune into. And I really felt that there was a picture being painted of me that was not true. You know, and I realize now that some people in the podcasting world loved that I was always labeled as, you know, a hater, a racist, a this and this and that, because the more I was perceived as negative, the more they were perceived as positive. Rams fan, no, we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to midnight. So I don't know if we're going to take calls tonight. I really be honest with you. I'm sorry about that. But I'll make a deal with all of you. Why don't we do this? And this is my promise to you. If you want Sunday to do just a call in and just do a trial run of the sit down, you want to do a trial run Sunday? AEW's pay-per-view will be in the books already. So you want to do it? Let's do that then. Sunday, we'll do just calls. Nothing but calls. And obviously, I don't expect the audience to be huge because not everybody's going to know about it. But why don't we just do a trial run of the sit down on Sunday? And I'll take calls and, you know, we'll talk about whatever is on your mind. So what time is good for all of you? Give me a good time for Sunday, because I know a lot of you out there like football. So what would be a good time Sunday? No, I'm putting the announcement up now, Harris, because Saturday when I do the AEW recap for Full Gear, it's probably going to be on that network. 10 a.m. is early. 7 p.m.? That's not bad. What do you all think? 10 p.m. is kind of late. 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I like the 6 or 7. We're just going to do a trial run. It's even if there's only 30 people that tune in, it's just going to be a trial run with some calls. Keep posting your times. We got an 8 p.m., 3 o'clock. Remember, I'm going to have my significant other. I think we're going to try the Nitro Cologne Sunday because she'll be here. I want her to smell it and give the honest opinion. 7 to 8:30 on Sunday. 7 o'clock. So what do you think? So let's see. Well, it's just going to be a trial run unless we got 6, 7, or 8. So, all right. So you know what we'll do? This is what we'll do. Tonight, before I go to sleep, I'm going to post in the community section a poll. And it's going to be 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or 8 o'clock. So that's what we'll do. Darren, if I have time at the end tonight, I'll tell the porch story. If not, then maybe we'll wait till Sunday. I think we might have time. All right. So anyway, let's get to the announcement. So anyway, you know, I realized, you know, and you all know this, and anybody that does shows, Lee knows this, you know, Connor, RCWR, Jason, JD, you know, Mish, everybody, they all know it. There's a lot of very two-faced people out there. And there's a lot of people out there that'll coax you to, you know, get yourself into hot water and situations, because the worse you come off, the better other people come off. And, you know, I realized there was a picture painted of me that was not true. And I always wanted to do video. I was going to go to YouTube about 5 or 6 years ago. And the only reason why I didn't, out of respect to my former co-host, he had no interest on doing video. So I was like, fine. You know, but the thing is that over the years and doing this for so long, you know, yes, some people have seen a picture of me, but if you don't see someone's animation, seeing their face, seeing their reactions, you know, you paint a picture of someone that may not be. So, you know, it got to a point that I'm not going to just do the same shit every week just to do it. it's got to mean something. You know, you got to want it. And I want to get bigger. I want to get better. I want to grow. And it just felt like it was in quicksand or stuck in the mud. And look, our audio, listenership is great. It's always been good. I mean, I've never had, other than the early days in 97, 98, I never had a time where the audio or the viewership was low. So obviously everybody likes something, but I need everybody to see an extension of myself, to expand. So 5 years ago, I didn't do it. This time around, I did it a little less than 2 years ago. And I always, since 1997, I always insisted that if I want to do something right, I got to do it myself. I record. I use 2 recordings. I edit. I splice. I try to get the shows online within an hour of the show being off the air. I try to make it interactive. I try to include everything. I try to be down to earth. I try to be brutally honest. I just want to be me. So I always felt that hard work pays off. And people do notice. People do notice hard work. They can see that there's a lot of people out there that cannot and will not do a podcast unless someone else is doing everything for them behind the scenes. And, when you do it for 24 years and you do 90% of the legwork, and I've always joked about it, I wish I could be one of those that turns a computer on, talks for an hour, turns the computer off, goes to sleep. I'm a legend. I'm a superstar. There's a lot more than that. And yes, back in the days of Chris Cash used to make a lot of money off of people out there that did not want to learn or do the effort to record their own shows, to edit their own shows, to upload their own shows, to run the helm. It's not easy. That's why, even though I may differ in a lot of opinions from JD or Jason or anyone else out there, Meltzer, one thing is for certain, they all work their freaking asses off because there's nobody behind the scenes doing this stuff for them. So fast forward to about maybe 2 months ago, a sports podcast network out there that has a ton of famous sports athletes, Hall of Famers, 95% blue check marks. One of them that works behind the scenes or pretty much runs the thing was a big fan of my stuff. And the one thing that he liked was the work ethic, the content, but also something that I always emphasized, having real life conversations. We talked about George Floyd. We talked about the election. We talk about COVID. We talk about depression. We talk about a lot of topics that others out there would never touch. And I love to be able to talk to us like friends. It's not always about wrestling. Real life definitely needs to be talked about. And some of my biggest viewerships had nothing to do with wrestling. So there's just a different dynamic with the shows. And the person reached out to me and said to me, hey, love your work. And it wasn't generic email. The person really enjoyed my stuff. Do you have any network? Do you have anybody that you work with? I said, no. I have ads, but I don't work with anybody. He's like, no. I said, no. Ever? And I told him about Radio Influence from a couple of years ago, but we didn't make anything at all off it, not even a penny, which is fine. So anyway, they said, would you like to be part of our family? And when I went and checked their site, because I've seen it before, but I never really stopped to pay attention of the shows on there, I was saying to myself, is he sure he's trying to talk to me? Because I looked at the other shows on there, I'm like, wait a minute. I feel like Maven teaming up with Evolution. I just feel like I don't belong. And I joked with him and I said, you sure? And he's like, yeah, I'm serious. And he wanted to see my numbers because look, I hate to break it to all of you out there, but some of your friends in podcast land, I'm not talking about the JDs or the Jasons or the Mishes, but there's people in podcast land that make themselves seem like they are a Hall of Famer, and they get 50 downloads a show, 50. So, when I brag about getting, the millions and millions that we do, I have to back it up with numbers, and it needs to be verified. So I took screenshots of everything, and I sent it to them, and they said, okay. We'd love for you to be on the network. They sent me a proposal. They sent me a 14-page contract. I had to buy E&O insurance. And they sent me, on paper, a money offer. And I looked at it, and I was like, wow, I'm going to get paid more than some independent wrestlers out there. But I obviously have to work hard for it. So I agreed to it. And we had a couple of Zoom conversations. And it's done. And we're going to go off the air in 12 or 13 minutes. And then for the next 24 hours, my shows will be migrated to this new network. As far as all of you out there, whether you tune in through iTunes or Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Samsung, which I didn't even know existed, you'll be able to still access the shows like you did before. None of that's going to change on your end. It's just where the shows come from. That's going to change. Also, commercials will be changed because there are some big advertisers that are seeking out this content. So believe me, when I post the ad breaks in the shows, and if people notice on the audio side, I have made a real concerted effort to not have commercials pop in halfway through a conversation. But I have no idea what commercials are going to come up. It could be for a condom. It could be for a movie. It could be about COVID. It could be about an election. I have no idea. I just put the spot in there, and then they put whatever commercials they want to throw in there. I have no control. Now there are specific advertisers like Coors or Coca-Cola or whatever it is. So I don't know, who's going to be yet. So anyway, this is a big deal. So for at least the next 2 years, this is going to be the setup. And what I really want all of you to do, seriously, is when this goes live on this network in a day or two, I want you all to support this network. I want you all to spread the word of this network. I want to be at the top of the goddamn list amongst all the other shows out there, which is not going to be easy. But when I show you now who I am going to be in company with, this is why I made sure to put a little chat box in the corner, because I expect a ton of smiley face emojis, laughing, was it LMFAO, laughing your motherfucking asses off. Because, man, this is pretty epic. All right, I don't have a drum roll sound effect. But I will now reveal it. And the network that I am now proud to be a part of, I'm going to show you the little banner first, and then I'm going to show you live in real time the shows that are on there. And oh boy, are you going to laugh. Now, I will say this network is just sports. So when you look at categories like football and baseball and basketball and hockey, even college sports, you're going to see a lot of names that I don't even know who they are, but they're going to be recognizable to you. So I am proud to announce that yours truly, and the channel will be called The Don Tony Show. All of the shows like Breakfast Soup Raw, Wednesday Night Don-O-Mite, Q&A, the sit down, it'll all be under the Don Tony Show banner. So it's like I'm Godfather, and the shows are members of the family. That's how it is, because the contract, they wanted the Don Tony Show. And look, I got to thank Mish also, because Monday's show is so much fun to debate with him. Nothing against my former co-host or any of my former co-hosts, but Mish, what I love about him is we could disagree on topics, We could have totally different viewpoints. And once the show is over, no anger, no animosity, doesn't take it personal. After the show is over, hey, great debate, great conversation. The guy just, it's so easy. And believe me, and I don't want to sound like a jerk, but one of the things that I have become over the years, I love debating. I hated debate in school. I hid it under the desk when debate would be happening. Now I love debating, but I don't debate just to debate. I really got to feel it inside. Like the Velveteen Dream debate that I had with Mish, people still talk about it. Why? Because I truly believed how I felt, as did Mish. And the worst thing you want to do is have a debate with someone, get all passionate, get all energized, say what you want to say, and then instead of somebody, I totally disagree and blah, 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 and you're wrong, you're this, you're that. And when you get in return, yeah, you're right. And it's like, wow. It's like letting the air out of the balloon. So I love debating and I love bouncing off of him. And yes, that show will be on there too. So I am happy to announce that I am now a member of the Blue Wire family. Blue Wire is a huge sports network. And get ready, everybody. Get ready. Look at this. That is all your wrestling shows that are on there. I'm going to be in the company with Gallows and Anderson, Sam Roberts, Chavo Guerrero Jr. I don't know the other guy, but I know he's a blue check mark. And Chris Van Vliet. That is your wrestling podcast. Now let's this is live. Let's check it out. All right, let's see. This is their partners advertised. So we got some legit shit. This is some of the offerings. Yeah, just check out some. Let's go through the categories. Let's go to baseball first. I think Cal Ripken Jr. just started on here as well. We got some Yankee stuff, Cubs. Let's go to basketball. I know some of these names are very familiar, and I'm not familiar with some of them. The football one I think is pretty big. Let's look at football. A lot of these people are like legends and Hall of Famers. This is pretty cool. Yeah. So we're scrolling down. What else? I think we got hockey up here. Yeah, we got hockey. Oh, I do see comedy and culture. All right. So that is let's see what the comedy and culture is all about. But, if you look at some of these shows, Sopranos, no. But, if you go to the baseball ones, I don't know which one is the Cal Ripken podcast, but let's go back to wrestling. Yeah, see, these are some of the shows. You can't see me scrolling. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I showed you the screenshot. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Guardian of Chaos, thank you very much, my friend, for the 10 spot. Much love. So this is some of the shows. Obviously, you could see there's a lot of baseball, football, hockey, basketball, a lot of famous people, Hall of Famers. Like I said, they just signed Cal Ripken Jr. You got some big names on here. So it's very, very small group. They're not looking just to pile up numbers. They're looking for big shows or shows looking to be bigger, hungry shows. But there you go. Look, that is it as far as the wrestling. I will be right here. I think if it was up to me, I would be like, yeah, put me over here or put me side by side. Look, I am freaking honored. I am honored beyond belief to be in the company of these guys. I mean, look, you got Sam Roberts. Yeah, Sam Roberts. This is his network. This is the network that he's on. I'm in the company of Sam Roberts. Chris Van Vliet. This is not just like one network of many. Chris Van Vliet is signed to Blue Wire. So, I mean, go figure. Go figure. Now, if you look, like I said, I'm sorry for repeating some of this, but if you look, Chris Carter is signed to them. You know, I know some of these names are very familiar, and some of these podcasts are very familiar. I guarantee you, some of these podcasts, you probably had no idea that they were ever part of this network. They are signed to Blue Wire. So that is it. But again, I'm assuming this is based on popularity. So we want to get to the top of all these people. This way, when everybody looks at it, and look, I'm saying it as friendly competition. Nero Faye, much love, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for the super chat. I am ecstatic. But I gotta put the screenshot again. I gotta put the screenshot again for a minute. I mean, just look at that. I mean, when you really think about it and you look at it like this, I know you can't see it, but let me click on the wrestling one. Let's see what these hosts. Let's go look at some of these other shows. All right, so we got Top Rope Nation, and that's hosted by Ryan Drosty, Kyle Ross, and Justin Joint. And believe it or not, if you look online, these are not, small guys. I mean, I'm looking at Ryan. He's a digital editor for Entrepreneur, and he also contributes to The Torch. But just look, I mean, that's pretty humbling, man. I mean, now do you understand why I feel like Maven around Evolution? I mean, this is the company that I'm in. Gallows and Anderson talking shop. Sam Roberts, Chris Van Vliet, Chavo Guerrero Jr., What's Wrong with Wrestling, which I know a lot of you out there are already big fans of. So that's it. 7 shows. And yes, I'm sure more. James Young, thank you very much, my friend, for the super chat. Thank you for the kind words. And that's very, very, very generous of you, my friend. But that's it. They will add more wrestling shows in the future, and that's fine. But again, it's not to be on a network just to be, for name dropping or to pile up numbers. I'm in some very special company here, and I'm still blown away. I'm like, okay, this has got to be a joke. I mean, I'm not trying to sell myself short, but when you look at the shows that are on there and you plant me next to it, yeah, it kind of looks like this has got to be a joke, right? Now, I have no idea if Chris or anyone else is aware of it, but I tell you, I am very, very honored, and I am so looking forward to it. And the best part about it is it lights a fire under my ass to not only be the best that I possibly can be, but, just to be friendly about it. I want to be at the top of this list. I want to have so many people tuning in and having a great time and enjoying themselves. And this gives me the incentive. This is what I wanted. The incentive to expand, to, branch out, to challenge myself, to develop further. And now I get that opportunity. I always said hard work pays off. It's not just a catch line. It's not just a way to troll people or troll the haters. I don't know if I can move this. We can move this. We could leave this up to close it out because we're about to close it out. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. That's cool. Yeah, I think that's cool. There we go. We could even extend. No, VJ. Mish is still here with us. But look, I mean, I want to make this clear. I'm not involved with Wrestling Soup. I mean, I'm always there if he needs me to host the show. But, Mish has his own little network also. Mish has a few podcasts that are under his banner. And, Mish has his own little network too. He's almost like the Chris Cash, but good person, not a snake like Chris. And the thing is that I have fun doing shows with Mish, but Mish has his own baby and Wrestling Soup is his network. And, whatever he benefits from it, it's awesome. He does his thing and I do my thing. And when they approached me, look, if they approached me and they wanted it to be a deal with Mish included as well, I absolutely would have done that. And I had told Mish, and Mish had no idea it was this network. I had said to him once or twice, you want me to tell you? He's like, no, keep it as a surprise. And I'm not going to lie. My first reaction was, I wonder if he's a little bit hurt that he's not part of this contract. But the thing is when they pursued me, they specifically said, we want the Don Tony show. That's what we want. And then when we got further and I explained about, why I do Monday and why I do Wednesday and why I do Thursday, every show has a little bit of a different theme. And then about the real serious talk and call-ins that we're going to be doing, they said, okay, so the Don Tony show is the nucleus of it. And the other shows are like little sub shows. So that's the deal. So I don't want anybody to think that, I left him out of this or anything like that. That is so far from the case. It's just, when they approached me, they specifically said, this is what we want. I know it's a little cut off over here. So yeah, no, Darren, my fiance is awesome. She is a wrestling fan and she has no problem with me doing this as long as it doesn't interfere with our personal life and as long as we have our time. So believe me, Thanksgiving, you think I want to go away for Thanksgiving? I don't want to be blowing any money on Thanksgiving. I got to pay for a wedding. But you know what? She hasn't been able to do anything. COVID is still very depressing. So, this is the balance, but, so that is the deal, everybody. That is the deal. Let me see if I can put it on the screen. No, that's not going to work unless I do this. Yeah, that's going to just, yeah. So anyway, before I get out of here, because I'm going to start wrapping this up, Roger Rubio, thank you very much for the cup of coffee, my friend. I will absolutely have some coffee tomorrow. I'm enjoying still a little bit of coffee now. But all right, so let me just summarize everything, and then we'll be out of here. Number one, the shows on YouTube are remaining. They are absolutely remaining. If you notice on YouTube, I do not put commercials during the shows. I mean, early on I did that, but I wanted your viewing experience to be as pleasant as possible. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make it unpleasant for audio only friends out there, but on YouTube, they just randomly throw that shit in anywhere. And it's very, very difficult for me to personally put it in certain areas on there. So I said, okay, just commercials at the beginning, commercials at the end. If it progresses and advertisers want to have their specific commercials on YouTube, that could happen as well. The deal here is for audio. YouTube remains. For my Patreon family, one of the things that I told them, I said, look, I have a Patreon. I have it for a while. And when I first started the Patreon, there was only 5 wrestling shows on Patreon. Now there's 5,000. I said, so now obviously everybody splits Patreon with others. And now you have wrestling news sites having a Patreon. Patreon was meant for shows. Now you got wrestling news sites that are forcing everybody to go to Patreon. And look, not everybody out there can pay $5 here, $10 here, $10 here, $7 here, $20 here. It adds up. So a lot of people have to pick and choose. So our Patreon is nowhere near what it used to be. And, let's also be honest, our Patreon, the whole idea was to have exclusive shows on Patreon that you can't tune in anywhere else. But when hosts are doing so many shows outside of Patreon, it doesn't make the Patreon shows as special anymore. the one thing that I always wanted was an ad-free option for our Patreon family. So long story short, I told them, I said, I would like to keep my Patreon. I said, there's not a big audience there. It's only a couple of hundred, 200 to 300 people that get ad-free shows. I'd like that to keep on there. And they said, no problem. So the Patreon remains. YouTube remains. Wherever you access the audio shows, that will still remain. The call-in show will be a new show that'll be on. Like I said, we'll try it out Sunday just because we didn't take calls tonight. But that'll be in the future, and maybe we'll rotate, like I said, afternoon one week, and Sunday another week. But Nero Faye, who do I want to collaborate the most? First of all, believe it or not, Rocky Romero, who you saw yesterday on Dynamite, he is on Talking Shop with Gals and Anderson. That doesn't mean I want to collaborate. My point is, there are a lot of names on there that you don't even realize are on there. But honestly, I'm being straight out with all of you. I don't know if any of them are going to want to do anything with me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I would enjoy having a little conversation with Chris Van Vliet, because then I can apologize publicly for joking about his perfectly white, awesome teeth, which I am obviously extremely jealous of. That's why I used to crack the jokes. Well, what does it like to do this? Oh, congratulations. You want to do a show together? Hey, I think I'll do it. It was just tongue-in-cheek humor. He's a good guy. I used to crack jokes, and I realized, the guy is really, really a very likable guy. And, maybe one day we'll have a little discussion. But honestly, I don't expect collaborations all that much. If it happens, I am more than willing to do it and honored to do it. I am just a little bit blown away with the fact that they seek me out and were that interested. And let me tell you something, and I'm going to end this now. On Patreon, Mish and I had a hilarious discussion about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Lee, if you're still in the chat room, what was the name of that network that wanted us to be on there? All of us, Mentors, I think it was called. It's a new network called Mentors, I believe. And basically, they wanted Lee, they wanted me, they wanted Mish to be on their network and mentor people, not only about, like podcasting and this and that, but to inspire people, and that's why I love talking about, I don't love talking about depression and mental health, but I love being able to let people laugh and try to, help them realize that there's better days ahead. But the funny thing about it was when Lee got the email and I got the email and Mish got the email, the woman that was telling us that she was big fans of all our work, she just cut and pasted everybody's shit. So Mish and I on Patreon, we read our emails at the same time together, and it was word for word exactly the same thing. This woman was not a fan of our shows. This woman probably was just looking at a directory online to see what shows were popular, and they were trying to get us to join that network. In this case, there are people that run the ship at Blue Wire that are fans of the show for a while. And they recognized the amount of work that's put in. They recognize the intimate, audience that we have here. I love being one-on-one with all of you out there. And I don't take for granted anybody's support. And whether you're public or private or just lurk, I don't take it for granted. And they took notice and they were interested and they reached out. And when that happens, how do you not want to give 1,000%? So this is going to be awesome. I am so looking forward to it. And I am so late. We are 10 minutes after midnight. I was asked to not do any shows after midnight so they could migrate everything over. But by Saturday, either Saturday or Monday, we should be there. So what that means is tonight, I am going to get the show online. Then I'm going to go on Twitter. And then I'm going to update my bio and post that I am now proud member of Blue Wire. It's been real, everybody. Much love. I thank you, as always. And it's going to be a fun ride. I'm looking forward to it. Haters, oh well. Whiners make excuses. We make coffee. And let me also say one last thing in closing. Without all of you, this wouldn't have happened. Period. I had to show them my numbers. I had to show them audio, video. You know, I mean, I understand there's some podcasts out there that are gigantic on YouTube, but they have virtually no audio, only following. You know, they looked at the overall numbers, and here's a case where I am happy that 80 to 85% of my total audience is audio only, because that's what they wanted more than anything else. But without all of you out there, whether you watch the shows or listen to the shows, without all of you supporting this would not happen. So I promise you, the shows are going to get better, and I am excited as can be. It's going to be awesome, man. I'm so, I'll say one last thing also. Next year will be my 25th year. I never in a million years that would have ever thought that pro wrestling would still be this fun to talk about for 25 years. I'm not one of those that whines anymore online. Yes, we criticize. And you know what? Let's talk about the Tony Khan media call today. It's not a lot to get into. I don't think they're going to get pissed if we stay on for 5-10 more minutes. But since I advertised it, I have to give it to you. Tony Khan, see, I don't want to ever cheapen the shows and not give you what I promise. This is courtesy of Wrestling Observer. Not going to bring up everything. But Tony Khan did a media scrum today. And he had a lot of wrestling shows call in to ask questions. Now, not a lot of it is huge news. I'll believe it when I see it in some cases. First of all, Tony Khan says that they are coming to the West Coast in 2022. That would be awesome for West Coast fans who really want AEW to come. California, Colorado, those areas. I think Double or Nothing is going to be coming to Nevada, Las Vegas again. He likes the 4-hour length of the pay-per-views. So expect a 4-hour pay-per-view this Saturday. The last time he talked to Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, was last year at Chris Jericho's birthday party. Obviously, Wyndham is going to be filming a movie, but, you know, he has not had any contract negotiations with Wyndham at all. Now, look, he also had said that he didn't have any contract negotiations with Adam Cole. Now, a lot of people are very skeptical about it, but I tend to believe Tony Khan on this one. He puts over, a lot of these younger guys on the shows. He is going to make some tweaks visually to Dynamite in 2022 since they're going to be going to TBS. And he said if the fans do not like the tweaks, he can always reverse them. And that's good because I remember when NWA changed their Into the Fire music, and a lot of people were pissed off at that. Didn't they change it to Dokken, whatever? I think they finally did switch it back. But, I say what you want about Tony Khan. Tony Khan really does listen to his fan base. I was going to get to Ella J. Thank you, Rojo Bear. I know we're going to really be a little bit backwards with this, but I'll post your super chat in a moment, Rojo Bear, because this one got a little bit of controversy today. We'll get to that one last. Let me tell you something that I loved probably the most about this entire conference call. Sanjay Dutt was the person behind the scenes responsible for a lot of what you saw in the match between Lio Rush and Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty. Remember, it was only a couple of weeks ago that I showed you that beautiful match between Sanjay Dutt and Loki, their first ever one-on-one encounter, and they actually did it at a show that I co-ran with the Mass Maniac. I have sung the praise for Sanjay Dutt for a long, long time. And to hear that Sanjay Dutt, was very much involved in this match yesterday and Tony Khan acknowledging it, that was awesome. That was freaking awesome. I am a huge fan of Sanjay Dutt. They are going to have that event that we talked about not too long ago, the Battle of the Belts. Remember, they, I think, went to copyright or trademark Battle of the Belts. That is going to kick off the beginning of 2022. Not saying it's going to be the first event of 2022, but it's going to be in the early part of 2022. He said that his relationship with New Japan is great and likely more talent will be coming in as a result. Again, I don't like any of those words that end in LY, because that doesn't necessarily mean like it's going to happen. Look at the Kenta stuff. Oh, Kenta, the fourth wall. No, not the fourth wall. The forbidden wall. Kenta. What, one match? And he put over the TBS title. But the one thing, he also talked about the Owen Hart Memorial Cup, that they will be talking about it shortly after the Full Gear pay-per-view. I know a lot of people out there want the Owen Hart Memorial Cup to focus more of the young stars. I like that idea. I absolutely like that idea very much. Now, there was a little controversy in this call because there is a young lady by the name of Ella J. I don't follow her on social media. And honestly, the reason why I don't follow her is because I don't want some female young podcasters to get creeped out by older guys just following them randomly. I mean, that's the God honest truth. I mean, if you want to see like people that I follow, it's usually people that I socialize with, or maybe, like I'll talk about their shows. But that was really the only reason why I don't follow certain people out there, is because, sometimes you randomly out of nowhere get a follow from someone, and I don't want to come across as, being, like whatever. I know it sounds ridiculous, but a lot of you out there, I think, feel the same way. I'm being honest, but she is a young lady who does some podcasting, and she got to ask a question today to Tony Khan. And she was talking about the improvement of the women's division, or, because a lot of people do complain about the lack of women that are shown on the shows. And she really didn't get to ask her question. And before she could even really get into the question, Tony Khan cut her off. And he said something like, let me cut you off there, because he feels he doesn't get enough credit for improving the women's division. Somewhere also in this media scrum, he talked about the NWA Empower pay-per-view. And he talks about how he paid his women wrestlers to perform on that card. And he said that he didn't get credit for that. And he compared it to if you pay for a dinner bill and nobody thanks you. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how much these, and this is just me talking, I don't know how much these women got paid to work the Empower pay-per-view. But I could only think back to when I was involved in indie wrestling with the Mass Maniac, and what some people would demand at that time. And women's wrestling at that time, the pay was a lot lower. I mean, be honest. But, I mean, how much money could they have possibly made on that pay-per-view? Even if you want to go as high as $1,000. If you want to go higher and go $2,000, it's not like we had 15 AEW women on that show. What did we have, 4 or 5? So, you know, for a multi-millionaire, you know, to turn around and to really bring that part up, I didn't get enough credit that I paid for the women to perform there, and nobody mentioned it. I don't know, it didn't come off well, in my opinion. Tony Khan, I like Tony Khan, I really do. And we all have faults. Listen, I know a lot of people, it's very easy to say, oh, he's got daddy's money. The guy, Tony Khan, he works his ass off. He doesn't just sit back and let everybody else do the work. He does work his ass off. And he definitely deserves all the credit for the hard work. But Tony Khan, the more and more I watch this, and again, you can't buy street smart. I know some people claim to be street smart, you know, and they're not. And I'm not that street smart, but you can't buy that. And the thing is that, you know, you can't also buy thick skin. You can't buy thick skin. You have to grow it, and you learn from it. When people, sometimes I get into little wars online, especially with famous wrestlers in the past. It doesn't happen anymore. But when it used to happen, you know, a lot of people would step up like, I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. And I would say to them, like, don't worry about it. I got it. What do you mean you got it? You got thousands of people threatening to kill you. You know, when I went off on Sami Zayn early on in COVID, you know, I ended up, you know, resolving the issue. But, you know, the thing is that thick skin is not easy to grow. It's not everybody gets it. And Tony Khan comes off as someone that doesn't have as much thick skin as he should, because even with the Forbidden Door stuff, you know, I'm one of the few shows out there that have brought up, and we're going to wrap this up in 4 minutes, 12:30. I'm going to be off. I'm one of the few shows out there that said all along that COVID was the Forbidden Door. Tony Khan was the biggest of the promotions, and Tony Khan realized that the ball was in his court. He had TV. He had a big TV deal. So everybody had to come crawling to him. And Tony Khan was very smart on how he handled it. But COVID was the Forbidden Door. If Tony Khan was the Forbidden Door, then why would he close it exactly 1 year after the meetings went on? So now when more people are starting to say, you know, the Forbidden Door really was COVID, and the promotions did what they needed to do to get through this hard year and survive. And you see Tony Khan going on Meltzer the other day, I'm the Forbidden Door. I'm the Forbidden Door. I'm the Forbidden Door. And he like has to, I'm going to say something that's going to piss a lot of people off, but I'm going to say it. And listen, I have sung a lot more praise for this man in recent years. It reminds me of early Obama. And it reminds me of when Osama bin Laden was taken out. Our military took out Osama bin Laden. And what I always remember from that announcement from Obama was I. And it just came across like he wanted all the credit. I did this, and I did this, and I did this, I did this. And again, I'm not crapping on Obama, but Tony Khan comes off someone that needs to be acknowledged, needs everyone to credit. Now I understand why so many podcasters and writers will treat Tony Khan like he's a god. Yes, boss. Yes, God. Yes, Kingpin. Yes, this. Like, I think they all realized this man needs the titles. He needs people to kiss up to him. I'm not trying to really criticize Tony Khan, but you could see that he needs to have, and like I said, when he cut that girl off today, Ella J, and was like, let me stop you there. I did this and I deserve credit and I deserve credit. Well, this is the super chat that Rojo Bear posted earlier. Ella J posted on her Twitter that Tony Khan and her had resolved today's media call privately and he apologized. And good for Tony Khan for doing that. Tony Khan gets very defensive when he is criticized or if he's not given credit for something. And don't get me wrong, when you do something good, you should be proud of it. You should enjoy it. And maybe you do deserve more credit. But to publicly go on these little tirades like he does, I think as he gets older, because I think a lot of people forget how young he is. I think as he gets older, he will mature with that. But it definitely rubs people the wrong way. And you see a lot of disingenuous people out there, a lot of disingenuous people that will go silent. A lot of people today went silent and said nothing after this conference call because they dare never criticize the almighty Tony Khan. Do you remember when Shots Fired? Remember that article I did, Shots Fired? And he was going off on WWE that they went a half hour over to just fuck with Rampage and this and that. And you knew Crown Jewel, $50 million pay-per-view, that's the go-home show. And they're doing this and they're doing this and they're doing this. And they did tribute to the troops that night too. Tony Khan never mentioned that WWE did tribute to the troops that night. Maybe that was the reason. No, he just went off like victim. And then you had that Nimrod talking about, like comparing it to when Eric Bischoff wanted to beat up Vince. And everybody went silent. All the ass kissers went silent and said nothing because they don't want to risk getting on Tony Khan's bad side. Take note, we never get a thank you for anything. We never get a DM, an email. Hey, thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the sincere, opinions, whatever. Nothing. No acknowledgement. And I don't need it. But you see that they only swarm to the people, that put them on a pedestal. And I will never be one of those people. I love dealing with people like look, Karrion Kross, because you all saw the video. I love dealing with wrestlers, some that are very controversial have said to me, keep telling it straight up. I love that you tell it straight up, even if it's unpopular. I've had a lot of people say that, from Lars to others. And he's told me privately, he's told Mish that also. So I will never change. I will never change. Tony Khan, the conference call today was a very good one. It had some very odd moments, and shame on all those people that, pretended that they had school. They had a dinner date tonight. Their internet was down. They had telephone problems. They didn't feel well. The family member got sick. The dog had to go to the vet. The vet had to go to the vet. Yeah, it's like, come on, man. You see the pattern. Anyway, I am out of here. Thank you, everyone. If you enjoyed tonight's show, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that thumbs up. Does this still work? Yeah, it still works. Hit the thumbs up, everyone. Next week, we should have new intros all across the board. So don't forget, I will post a poll tonight. What time do you want the sit down to take place Sunday? So I will sit back Sunday. No joke. I'm going to sit back and you're going to call in whatever you want to talk about. Wrestling, non-wrestling, AEW's pay-per-view, whatever's on your mind Sunday. We'll have a fun little 90-minute call-in show, and we'll try it out and see how it goes. But definitely support Blue Wire. I want them to feel like, holy shit, Look at all these people. Oh my God. We're being infiltrated. I can't disrespect Darren. I can't disrespect Judy Bagwell. I paid a little tribute to her the other day on Monday. What do you mean chat's included? Yeah, chat will be included Sunday. Hey, you don't have to call in. Live chat will be up. Absolutely. Like I said, I don't expect a huge audience because, look, not everybody likes to sit and hear call-ins. Let's be honest. But I want to give a little something for everybody. You know, not everybody likes NXT and AEW. Okay, you stay away from Wednesday show. All right, not everybody likes Q&A stuff. They stay away from Thursday show. Not everybody likes WWE Raw, so they may stay away from Monday show. But a little bit for everybody. So, all right. So, again, don't forget, for the Lilly Charly. Wait, did we come up with a hashtag for that? Hashtag Charly. CHARLY. Don't spell it Charlie like Charlie Chaplin. Hashtag Charly. CHARLY. That's how they spell it. So for the Lilly Charly contest, hashtag Charly. Do not put hashtag Lilly. You've been warned. No hashtag Lilly. Hashtag Charly. For the Too Cool stuff, hashtag Too Cool, all one word, TOOCOOL. And for the Moxley book, hashtag Mox, MOX. If you don't want to be part of any of those three contests, don't put the hashtag up. Because I don't mind if somebody wins and they say, I don't want the prize. But, you know, there's a lot of other people that do. So if you want to just be part of the, you know, Too Cool stuff and nothing else, then just put the hashtags for Too Cool. Whatever you want to go for, you could go for all three. You just can't win all three. So, yeah, don't do the hashtags. Well, you could put the hashtag in the chat as an example for others so they know what to put. But, no, the hashtags in the chat doesn't count as an entry. So, everyone, it's been awesome. Great night. Believe it or not, even though we're ending half hour late, we're still almost an hour less than last week. Last week, it was like 3 hours, 20 minutes. So, it was a good one. I absolutely loved tonight. And, man, I'm so excited to see what happens next. Now, as far as my content, my presentation, yes, I'll connect the new microphone, so there'll be no more microphone in the picture anymore. And I am going to upgrade the backdrop. I'm going to get more artwork. I'm going to go check out Shaheen and AJ Moore. So you'll see some new artwork. In fact, I'm going to put in the community section tonight for the channel members. If you have any, you know, specific people that you'd like to see in the backdrop, I mean, I don't know who I'm going to remove. I mean, the Muppets, I'm looking at it now. The Muppets are going to be out of here. I don't know if we should remove Taz. Not for nothing, no disrespect, but I think Rhea Ripley, all the way on the left, should come off. Mike Tyson should come off. So we have about 4 to 5 that we could replace. So I will, and I have the Daphne picture that I got to put up still. So we'll move some things around. You know, we're going to shake it up. And I'll definitely give you all the opportunity to give me some suggestions who you would like to see on the wall. And we'll do it. We'll do it. Yeah, time for me to get some rest. So I'm going to put the show online. I'm going to put the threads on the community section. For our channel members, there will be an AEW Full Gear Predictions contest. I will put the thread up on Friday afternoon. You will have about 24 hours to enter. Very easy. And I'll be here Saturday night right after Full Gear. And it's been real. Much love, everybody. I'm out of here. And yeah, Blue Wire. It's gonna be awesome, man. I'm freaking looking forward to it. I feel like I'm around some royalty. Come on, Sam Roberts, Chris Van Vliet. That in itself is like, that's pretty damn good. Then you have Gallows and Anderson talking shop. You know what's going to happen. They're going to go on Blue Wire talking, fuck is this guy? Are you kidding me? This guy? It's going to be great, man. I'm going to have fun. So, good night, everybody.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who work shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work.
I just saw Nier's post. I did mention it about who I wanted to collaborate with. I said earlier I would love to do something, maybe one episode with Chris Van Vliet so I could publicly apologize for his beautiful, white, perfectly straight teeth. I have 3 fake ones over here. I got a bridge. The booger bridge, the bridge. So I don't see any other super chat. There was one after it. I didn't get it. Oh, I do see it now. Blue Wire just became his favorite network. Look, on my Twitter account, I'm going to update my profile with the names on there. And yeah, follow them, support them, and go check around the shows. Check out all the shows on there. I think some you're already aware of, and some others, you might become a fan of. And we're going to blow it up. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a ball. I am so looking forward to it. So, all right, officially, good night.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who work shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. Doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.